Hi everyone, my name is Krista Dietrich. I am sorry about the late response on this activity, but today for this presentation, like stated in the assignment, I'm going to walk you all through every step that is involved in generating an ATP, NADH, or FADH2 molecule. So first I'm just going to talk a little bit about the process. So ATP molecules are generated from NADH and FADH2 molecules through cellular respiration processes. Cellular respiration basically refers to the metabolic reactions that break down complex biomolecules into small organic compounds to form ATP molecules. So the four main stages of metabolic reactions are glycolysis, the Krebs cycle, electron transport chain, and oxidative phosphorylation. So the four stages of glucose metabolism, which were the ones that I just stated, start with just one glucose molecule, which gives rise to, when I was doing my research, it said a net of 32 molecules of ATP. And the end products of glycolysis are 2 molecules of pyruvate, 2 molecules of NADH, and 2 molecules of ATP. Then the end products of the Krebs cycle are 4 molecules of CO2, 2 molecules of water, 6 molecules of NADH, 2 molecules of FADH, and 2 molecules of GTP. And the end products of electron transport chain and oxidative phosphorylation are 30 molecules of ATP. So glycolysis is basically a catabolic process where glucose molecules are broken down into simple organic molecules which are able to produce ATP molecules that act as the energy currency of the cell. Glycolytic pathway is from glucose. Oh, I actually drew this out if you want to see it. So I'll kind of just walk you through it as you can look at it. So the glycolytic pathway is from glucose to glucose 6-phosphate here, then to fructose 6-phosphate, to fructose 1-biphosphatate, then to, sorry about that, I lost my place, then to dihydroxyacetone phosphatate, to glyceraldehyde 3-glycerate, to 2-glycerate, to phosphophenyl pyruvate, and then finally to pyruvate, which I have down here. Let's see, I don't know if you can see, oh, there we go, you can see that a little bit better. So I have all of my stages in here, and I also just titled this the EMP pathway, which we have learned about as well. It's just the embedded Meyerhoff-Parnias pathway, which basically allows the metabolic use of glucose to generate ATP and NADH. Let's see. And then from here, so I'm not sure if we're supposed to do this part, but I did calculate the ATP generated here. So I just made a little note here. So for every NADH, there's 2.5 ATPs produced. And then for every FADH produced, there's 1.5 ATP produced. So here within my diagram here, I stated whether or not there was ATP, whether or not there was NADH, and then I just kind of calculated it over here for you all. So in the steps of glycolysis, there were actually, in steps 1 and 3, there were actually 1 ATP used for each step to get to the next step. However, in steps 5, since there were 2 NADHs produced, there were 5 ATP molecules produced, and so on and so forth, if you just want to zoom in on that. And so total for that cycle, we had 12 ATPs. And then from there, we go to the citric acid cycle. Woo! So it's also known as the TCA cycle. And Sorry, I need to get my notes. Or it's also known as the Krebs cycle as well, and it's a series of chemical reaction used by all aerobic organisms to release stored energy through the oxidation of acetyl-CoA derived from carbohydrates, fats, and proteins into ATP. So, like I stated before, this is the citric acid cycle, and I just included all of the steps here. So first we start with oxaloacetate, which then goes to citrate, which then goes to isocitrate, and I underlined in red where ATP and NADH are going, and FADH are going to be produced. So after isocitrate, we're going to go to alpha ketoglutarate, and an NADH is produced there. So like I stated before, for every NADH produced, there's 2.5 ATPs, I believe is what I stated. Yes, there's 2.5 ATPs. So just from that right there, we get 5 ATPs. Then from here, we go to succinyl-CoA, and another NADH is produced. So that means that that's another, oh, just kidding, sorry. That's another 2.5. So here, I didn't mean 5, sorry. I meant 2.5 ATPs and 2.5 ATPs from here as well. Then we go to succinate, and that produces 1 GTP. Then to fumarate, which produces 1 FADH2 molecule, and then to malate, which produces NADH, and then we're just back in the cycle as well. So here at the bottom, I also included just like a little summary of how much ATP molecules are produced. So in steps 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8, there are ATP molecules produced for a total of 25 ATP molecules. And then I just calculated this all out. I'm not sure if we're supposed to do that on our individual responses or if we were supposed to do it here, but I got a grand total of 32. I know it was supposed to be 30. However, I think that the way that I did it here was correct. If not, anyone can correct me on that because I am totally open to responses. But yeah, anyways, I hope that was a decent description. I'm kind of more into drawing and visually showing, so I'm sorry if I didn't go into too much detail verbally, but I do like to go into a lot of detail drawing. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this assignment, and if you have any questions or concerns, just feel free to message me or leave a comment on the discussion board. Thanks.